I'm in GitHub twice. I'm once on my personal account, and then I'm logged in as the RCS Chairs account. Up the top, I have the original repository clone like before. But what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to find me, and I'm going to find the Git tutorial, Git lecture. In all of GitHub. Git lecture, all GitHub. So it doesn't come up. So now I'm going to try and find I'm going to find me, users, and then I'm going to find the lecture, right? So I just created, if we go into my repositories, it will appear at the top, probably, yes. So a pull request is essentially when, as I said before, this second person wants to send changes to someone. So what I'm going to do, now that I'm in the RCS account, I'm going to create a copy of this repository for myself. So I'm going to fork it from RCS. So this will take a few seconds. And then essentially what GitHub is doing is creating a copy of the repository with all of the histories and whatnot, and it's assigning it or giving it to this new person. In this case is the RCS chair account. So now I can clone this, and you'll see that it's now not part of my Alex Hoff account, but it's actually part of TUM's RCS account. So git clone, and I'll put this into a git lecture RCS. So now I can go into the git lecture RCS. And now I'm in, so now what I can do is I can create some changes, and then I can pull request them to my main account so that I can review them, and then if I choose to, I can merge them. So I will, let's say, check out a branch and say feature adding a few more lines. And so this is a few more lines. So now we can see I've modified the files, the diff, the differences, and then I can commit them. Well, let's go the long way. I'll add them. Git commit added some more lines. So now I'll push these to my origin remote and to the branch that I created. Now this is getting pushed to the repository that I forked for the RCS account. And so I can create a pull request by clicking on this, pull it down to here. Quickly log into this. So now I can create a pull request. So if we go into the web interface and refresh, if we go and refresh the web interface for the RCS account, we can see that we created this feature adding a few more lines. Like this is the branch that I created, and it gives you the option to compare and pull request. So I can click here, and it will generate me a pull request automatically. But another way of doing it is that I can go into the original account, go into pull requests, and I can create a new pull request. So I want to, well, I probably changed users again. So now I'm in the web interface, and as we can see here, on my fork, feature adding a few more lines, I can compare and create a pull request. So if I click this, you'll see here that I'm making a pull request to merge RCS, this is the accounts, git lecture, the branch, feature adding a few more lines into the master of the git lecture on my Alex Hoff account, right? Here I can leave a comment. I have added some more lines, and then I can create the pull request. And so if I go up to, and we can see it here, it gets given number 3, so you can also reference this in commits and whatnot, or just in the conversation. But if I go up to the Alex Hoff account and I refresh the repository, I'll now see in pull requests, I have one pull request open. And so now if I go into the pull request, it will show you a summary of the commits. So this was the commit that I created here. It will show me the files changed. And then I can, then, if I want to, in the web interface, merge this, meaning that everything will get merged back together. Command line instructions to do the same thing. But most of the time, if the commit was done, or if the code changes were done in a way that you didn't have merge conflicts, so you shouldn't really open a pull request if there's conflicts, you should be able to just click this, and then the code will be merged. So I have merged the changes from this repository, from the RCS's fork, into the original Git lecture. So now if we go into the repository and look inside of our file, we will see that the new lines have been added. So this is essentially pull request. There's a lot of details. There's sort of the pull request is a very large and complex feature in its entirety. This is just the basic gist of it. So when you hear people talking about PRs, pull requests, you'll have a basic idea of what it is. So this sort of sums up the Git tutorials that I'm going to give. This should be enough to get you doing a basic use of Git. There are a few more commands that I've put into the lectures, namely, where is it? There's a slide with them on it. Rebase here. So like revert, clean, rebase, cherry pick. Rebase we went through. Cherry pick you'll come across in the Git tutorial, which you should do next. So the Git tutorial you can find on my GitHub. The idea is that you fork it like I sort of did with the pull request now, and this gives you a complete copy of the repository that you can push to, right? And this is the whole idea, is that the Git tutorial will explain a lot of things that I've gone through in this lecture series, but it'll also have you doing some small C and CMake based exercises to sort of get a grasp of Git and how it's applicable to actual code problems. So the code itself shouldn't be that challenging, but it's more the principle of using Git to merge and sort of manage a changing code base. So I hope that these little tutorials have helped. If you have any questions, please contact myself or Philip, and we are more than happy to help. Thank you.